Hi guys, welcome to Get Placed Fast, and today we will talk about the resume that we are going to create, and how are we going to create a resume which catches the eye of recruiter and gets us an interview. Whether you are looking for a job switch, whether it is your new role, whether you are a fresher, whether you are having experience where you are planning a career switch, where you are on a career break, or you were laid off maybe. So in any kind of situation, this resume template will always help you because this is a standard format. And always, even I have met with people who have years of experience, multiple years of experience, and they still use the same template in order to get higher packages and everything, because it what a recruiter looks at is not how flashy your profile is, but how crisp you have mentioned the data, and only how, like, everybody wants to know how direct you are. So that is the agenda of this session, so that you get to know how you can create your resume, and how can you get to make the most out of your resume and your knowledge that you know. So guys, let's get straight ahead, and you can use this same template, you can copy paste the same template, you can copy paste most of the things, other than the skills tool that you use, you can copy the exact format. I have also seen people getting 1 crore salaries and beyond have used the same template, and this is which has helped me get 5 interviews, 5 offers, where I selected the best offer for myself. So, and there was a point of time where I was making a lot of mistakes in my resume itself, and it was not getting me let alone offers, any interview calls. So this is how I have cracked it, and I'm sharing this with you. Hope guys it helps you a lot, and let's get started. So, in the first line itself, in the heading, I have mentioned my name, my current designation, my organization, and the location that I'm working from. I have mentioned my contact details as well. Going forward, I have mentioned my career objective as a heading. So, here I have mentioned that I'm experienced implementation manager with around 3 years of experience in the payment domain. So, I have mentioned what experience do I have, how much experience do I have, and it is in what domain. So, my target is fixed from the first line of my resume, where my target is to get similar roles of implementation in the payment domain. And also, as you can see, I'm working in Mastercard, which is a payment gateway payment organization. So adapt at leading successful payment solution implementation. So I am implementing the payment solutions, so this is what I'm working in from 3 years, and that is what I'm looking to change into the role for. So skilled in, and I have also mentioned skilled in project management, technical support, and client communication, seeking to leverage expertise to drive impactful results in the payment industry. So from my first objective itself, I have made sure I have not, mentioned any kind of detail which is not to the point, or which is extra. I have only mentioned what details are important and which would catch eye of a recruiter. So any line that you read in my resume is going to be relevant to the role that I'm applying into, is going to be relevant to the expertise that I have, is going to be relevant to the knowledge that I bring along to work. My only agenda is to exhibit my skill sets here, and make my intention clear to the recruiters, like what I am here for, and what am I applying for, what am I going to give you. So I have mentioned again my project details. I have mentioned my project details after my career objective. Let us say if you are a fresher, in that case, what you are going to do is you are going to mention your internships from latest to last, in this sequence, and after that you will be mentioning your projects. Let us say you don't have any internship, so you will have to get mention your projects here, and the details that you worked in the project you can mention in the same way. We'll break down each and every part of this resume, so that you get an idea of how you can create your own resume, get the best out of your resume, because resume is the first thing which catches the eye of a recruiter. If your resume is not to the point, and it is vague, or it is not appropriate to the role that you are applying into, you might not get into any kind of interviews, and you might not get calls. So what I'm telling here is resume is the first step where you get to know how you are working and what you are working into, what is your intention. So that is what is going to get you interview and lots of opportunities. Also, so now I come into project details and experience. Year of First, I have mentioned year of experience and organization. Then I have mentioned my client name. So in my client name, I have mentioned like a plural. These are a lot of banks that I have worked with. So I could not mention each and every of the organization because there would have been a lot of them. So that's why I just mentioned the region of the banks that I'm working with. I have mentioned my designation, and after that, I have started to mention my skills and tools that I have working on. So some of these tools are internal tools of the product that of the organization. Some of the tools are the tools that are there for project management, implementation management that I have been working around in the payment domain. Okay, so again, if you and also I need to make this, I will be really specific on this, that only mention skills or tools in your portfolio, in your resume, in your CV, which you have used on the job role. Do not use anything, do not use any data which you have not used in the job role. So if I have mentioned all these things, I know each and everything about these data. Okay, there is nothing which I do not know about this, which you will be which I would be getting asked in the interview. Also, projects in a nutshell. So because I told you I worked on a lot of projects, so I have just mentioned kind of projects that I've worked into, and then I have used 5 to 6 points to elaborate what work I did in this role. So, firstly, I have mentioned that led implementation of payment solutions for these clients utilizing Mastercard facilities, and these are the products that I have worked upon. So, because my organization is a product based organization, this is clear from the first line that I have been using Mastercard products to help these kind of customers. Again, I have achievements as well. You can mention it in your experience only. You don't need to highlight it in a separate way. So I have mentioned completed 10 projects within 6 months and all of that. So that is also a very highlighting fact when the recruiter looks at your CV. Manage end-to-end implementation projects. So this is what I have done. I have managed end-to-end from starting to when the project comes to you till the project gets completed and gets back to the customer. Whole process I manage. So that is what I have mentioned here. Also, during this process, I have collaborated with a lot of different teams for development, for testing, and there are sometimes delays. So I have mentioned all of that, where I have worked with cross-functional teams within the organization, which is telling that I am a team player, and I know how to perform well with the team. Also, I have mentioned I provided technical support and guidance to clients. So this makes sure that the recruiter, gets to know that I am a customer-driven guy, and I make sure that my first agenda is to to support the customer, get the things delivered, and support them throughout the project. Also, I have mentioned proficient in ISO 8583 and project management. So this is something which I have worked upon, and this is something which is a structure, messaging standard, which I need to know in order to work in the payments domain. So this is what I have experienced in. So this is what experience I have gathered, and I have mentioned it in crisp. So this is my second organization. I have also mentioned details of my previous organization that I have worked in. So similarly, year of experience, client name. Here I had only one project, so I could mention the client name. I mentioned my designation and the skills and tools I have worked upon. So again, just a repetition. I have mentioned all the skills and tools which are which I have worked upon, which I have personally worked upon, and which I have experience in. I have not mentioned anything which is out of my expertise or which I have just added to make my CV look better. Project name and details. So I have mentioned the project name as well. So here, if you will read, I have elaborated what work I had exactly done in my organizations. Because this was my first organization, I had to be to the point. I had to make sure that I make the recruiter understand that I understand what I'm working on, and that's how the recruiter understands that because you know what you are currently working on, you will be also be able to learn and adapt quickly and understand what you will be working upon. Also, you have to apply in roles which are similar to your current role, which will help you get more better opportunities, and which will increase your chances of uh, getting your CV shortlisted. Also, make sure to notice this, that I have mentioned all these are just keywords which are used. These are keywords, let us say the like the specialist implementation, it is a keyword, right? Because you are an implementation manager. Also payment solution, it is a keyword. Latin American and Caribbean region, that is a keyword. Also Mastercard facilities, using ABO and settlement, these are two keywords in the payment domain, right? Also I have mentioned that I have planning, execution and post implementation phase. So these are important phases of a project from which the project moves through. Everybody in every resume, mostly you'll find that you should be able to work with cross functional teams. So this is one of the keywords that is going to match with the resume, the JD that I will be applying into. Also I have provided customer support, maintaining high satisfaction levels. ISO 8583 is a very important keyword in my domain because of it is the important messaging structure. So I have mentioned all these things, in order to catch the eyes of the recruiter and let them know that yes, I'm the guy for the role and I know what I'm working upon. I have experience over a lot of people, who would not have mentioned all the details in their resume in this manner. Also coming forward, let us see. So I have mentioned in my previous role, I was responsible for. So now in this, I will just highlight the keywords that I have used, so that you will get to know how important it is to put keywords specific to your job role, specific to the job that you are applying into, seeking into, to show the recruiter that you have worked on these things, which will match, and you will also cross the ATS as well. So, L3 certification of payment solution for POS devices. This is a keyword. Also, my duties included gathering requirements from certification from Canadian processor, comprehending client expectations, and ensuring the development and certification of the applications. So, certification is again a keyword here, because certification is the process on which I have worked. That was the job. That was the role. Also, I have mentioned here, right? You can see what I exactly used to do, what my my role was, and if you will going down, we will see that I have mentioned this in a sequential manner. Like this is the first step that I do. This is the second step that I do. This is the third step that I do. So come, let us check this out. So I collaborated with device vendors to obtain latest EMV L1 and L2 kernels for POS devices. So these are like documentation which are very important, and these are upgraded every quarterly or yearly time. So this is very important, and this is a very important keyword, without which the POS devices do not work without the latest version. Subsequently, I have coordinated with the development team to develop applications for these devices. Once the application were developed, they went under L3 certification process with a payment processor. So after the devices were first, I would gather the requirement, then I would get the requirement developed by the development team, and then I would certify it with a payment processor using the L3 certification process. So I have told like this is the job role that I have been working upon. Also, now what I have done exactly, I have created caps keys using XML. So cap keys are something which like the functionalities you put in a POS device. Also, I have tested their UI using Postman API, and developing, and which tool was with the tool which was developed in Java. So uh, I have also mentioned. See, I'm highlighting all the only the keywords which I have worked upon, I have only mentioned the things which I have worked upon. I have not mentioned anything extra here. Certification for these applications involve L3 scripts. So L3 script are also important keyword. These are the test cases that we use. So these are the card brands for which I had to run the test card, run the test cases, and this was the standard EMP is a kind of a process of chip authorization. So, and also see, I have mentioned the Pfizer MBT tool to test these scripts. So Pfizer MBT tool is also a good keyword. Also EMB transaction flow is a keyword which I have mentioned here, right? So see, I in just this much of my resume, I have mentioned so many keywords, and also not making sure that the details that I have mentioned are to the point. They are not repetitive, and which catches and makes my resume more interesting. I was responsible for addressing certification testing, identifying resolving technical issues in the payment application. So I used to certify, I used to resolve, and possess thorough understanding of VMP and the complete transaction flow at device level for Ingenico devices. So Ingenico devices are the devices that I worked upon. So irrespective of, let us say, I can go work for other devices as well for certification, but because I have experience in one device, it makes recruiter understand that I will be easier to work with other devices as well, because the framework and things are more over the same. I created L3 script for testing application, uh, collaborating with developer to rectify any issues that came along. I was proficient in using UL and Pfizer by CC tools. So these are the two tools which you use for testing here. And also, additionally, I conducted regression scheme, UT testing. So these are different kinds of testing that is performed to ensure that the certification is good. And these are PCI DSS are the standards which are used for certification for any kind of POS application device. So now I hope guys you would have got to know like how to mention your experience, your skill set in the resume. And see, this was the first step where I got to know the requirement, then I got the certification documents, then I did the testing, then I used these tools for testing, and then I shared it with customer. And then I have my education qualifications. So I have just mentioned my education, the degree name, the university, and the year that I graduated and mastered in. So this is all the details. I have no photograph of me. I have no my skill set is singing and all of that. I have not mentioned anything. I am undergoing a certification, so I have not mentioned that yet. So I will be mentioning that in when I have completed that certification and when I have the certification. If you have certification as well, you just need to mention it just below the career objective here, above project details and experience. And let us say if you have used those certifications in any of the job roles that you have worked upon, so you then in that case you don't need a different section. What you can do is you can just add one line under designation, one more heading, and where you can mention a certification which you have used. And also make sure to use that the certification is a leverage which you will use to mention, add one point here as well. Guys, please let me know if you have any other questions, and if this resume helps you. I'm sure it is going to help you. Follow and let me know if you guys need any help around that. Thank you guys, all the best.